What's going on YouTube, man? It's your boy Trucker Smooth coming to y'all with another video.
Artlist.
In this video, I'm about to explain how and who got me into trucking. So if y'all want to see that, make sure you hit the like, comment, and subscribe button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Like I say, last video, make sure you hit it. But we gonna get into who got me into trucking, how I got into trucking, and what it took me to get to where I'm at. First off, let me saying, I think everybody has someone in their lifetime somewhere that, you know, that drive trucks. Me, it was my stepdad. He basically used to drive trucks when we were younger. I used to love seeing him come down the block. I'm from Miami, if you ain't know. Used to love seeing him come down the block in the truck. Mind you, he did reefer, he did flatbed, he did now I know these things. Back then I didn't know. So he did car hauling, vintage trailers, you name it, he done did it all. So, you know, it was very few people in my neighborhood that drove trucks. He was one of them. Also, it was my best friend growing up in middle school. Her dad, Mr. Butler. One day, basically, I walked her home from school. Literally, she stayed like right across the street from school. Her name is Antravia. So I walked her home from school, and he had one of the biggest houses around in that neighborhood where he was at. So one day I walked her home. I said, "Dang." I said, "Mr. Butler, how you get this big old house, man?" And he was like, he pointed to the truck. Mind you, I wasn't even paying attention to the 18-wheeler. So I looked over. So I said, "That 18-wheeler got you this house?" He said, "Yeah. I run out 4 or 5 times of that week. I come back home. I make enough money." So I'm like, now it really set in my head. So I'm like, dang, I want to get into trucks. Mind you, I'm like 11, 12 years old, 13 years old, something like that. So, you know, as time go on, I'm seeing my stepdad running the road. He telling me, oh, he in New York, he here, he there, you know what I'm saying? But I never got a chance to actually go out on the road with him. So, which I think would have made me more want to get into it, like even more. But anyway, fast forward, now that I'm older. So, my stepdad used to be a mechanic too, so I was a mechanic. Full-time mechanic, had my own business, running my own thing. But this kind of going off topic, but let me tell you why I wanted to get out of being a mechanic. Due to the fact my work was A1. I knew that for a fact. Everybody would tell me that. And when I touch your car one time, that was that one time I'm touching it. If I'm coming back, it's because something you wanted me to do extra, put it like that. And I'm not bragging or tooting my own horn. I'm just going off of what people told me. So anyway, with that being said, people would really like try to lowball you on prices that they know if they go to the dealership, they're gonna get a new butthole ripped out of them, basically. And I used to give them already a decent price on certain stuff, and I used to hate when I give them a decent price and they like, dang, he gave me a decent price. They try to talk me down even more than what I just gave them. So that was happening way too much, you know. Long story short, I just got tired of it. Like, I got tired of running my own business. I even went to working for a dealership, and you know, it was like crabs in a bucket at first. And then since I didn't have like 2 certificates that they wanted, they were giving me limited work. You get what I'm saying? So it just was getting frustrating because what I was coming from making, you know, and then also I was buying and selling cars. I was trying to do everything, have my hand in every bucket. You know, I'm a hustler. So at the end of the day, I just got tired of it. So 2 of my friends, one named Tatiana, and the other one named Nicole, both of them are females. So they used to call me and be like, hey Smooth, man, why you don't get in the trucking, man? They used to call me my real name, but Smooth, why you don't get in the trucking, man? This and that. So I'm like, I used to be like, man, I don't know, man. I don't know about the road, man. No, I want to do it, but I don't. So, mind you, me and TT, we used to call ourselves the money team. It used to be like 5 of us. So basically, everything we was doing, all of us would do the same thing. Basically, like we came from a warehouse we was working. So when one left or whatever, we'd be like, oh, we making money over here. So, you know, everybody would go over there. You know, that's how we kept it. So, you know what I'm saying? We slowly, you know what I'm saying, start going our ways or whatever. So TT, what caught my eye was she called me one day FaceTime and was like, man, look where I'm at, boy. Look where I'm at. So she turned the camera around. So I see her at a yard with nothing but 18-wheelers. So I'm like, man, hold on, boy. Hold on. Where you at? She's like, man, I'm in Georgia, man. I'm in school right now, about to get my CDLs and this and that. So I'm like, nah, man. So I left that alone. Exactly a day and a half later, Nicole hit me up. She was on the road. So, you know, she's showing me the road. She's showing me the, like, where she was at. She was up somewhere, upstate, somewhere in Chattanooga or something like that. She's like, oh, boy, I'm finna come home, man. We finna go out for drinks when I get there. So I'm like, all right. So she came down or whatever. And it's just how she was moving and how freely she was moving and telling me how, you know what I'm saying, how the trucking business is and how she doing. She teaming with her cousin and this and that. So I'm like, damn. So it really started to sit in my head like, maybe I should go and give it a try. That she was like, she just really sat me down. That we went out really because she was wanting to tell me, you know, what she was doing in the trucking, like what her plan was. And I was like, dang, that's not a bad idea. And she was like, she showed me, you know what I'm saying, how much she was making and this and that. So I'm like, hold on, man, wait. I gotta reconsider this now. So anyway, what we sat down for was her to tell me, like, she was basically encouraging me to tell me I can do this, because I used to drive a lot anyway. So that's what she was like, man, you know, you drive so much in a regular car, you could do this in the truck. I'm telling you, you could do this, you could do this. So one day I'm sitting on the couch. It was, I want to say a Wednesday. I'm sitting on the couch on a Wednesday and something just hit me, say, go get your CDLs. Go get them now. So I'm like, hold on. So I called back TT. I say, TT, man, what school you at? This and that. So she was like, oh, I'm out here in Georgia at CR England. You could come out here too. You might as well come on. So I said, man, let me find a school, because that's Georgia too far. Mind you, I'm in Miami. So I'm like, all right, man. I started looking for schools. It's Wednesday like afternoon. I'm looking for schools, calling around. Found 2 schools. I'm calling them. They telling me when I could start. Then they come back to certain stuff. I had to get a ticket off my license, basically. So it was a kind of a hold up. So that next class that was gonna start in Tampa, I think it's called Tampa Trucking. They had a next class, but I didn't fix my license in time for that class. So they were telling me the next class is gonna be the next month. So I'm like, dang, man. So the long story short, I called CR England. Don't laugh at me, but call CR England. Mind you, don't get me wrong, CR England is a good school, like stepping ground, you feel me, to get out there. So I called CR England, let them know. They was like, oh, when can you start? Mind you, it's Wednesday. I say, man, as soon as possible. They said our next class starts Monday. So Thursday, I packed my stuff up. Thursday morning, I packed all my stuff up and said, forget it, I'm finna just go get my CDLs. Mind you, Nicole Ben sent me the links to the apps to download to study for your CDLs. I never did that. My fault. Never did that. So anyway, packed my bags Thursday. I started driving to Atlanta. Drove to Atlanta, got to Atlanta Friday. Stayed at my uncle's house Friday and Saturday. Sunday, I checked into the hotel. Monday was school. Went to school, did your P test, did the hair follicle. Everything came back good. Mind you, I don't smoke. I barely drink. So that wasn't a problem for me. People was asking me to sell my urine in there. So anyway, that was crazy. So I met some cool people there in the first day of school. So that first day of school, they hit me with oh, you know, you got to go get your permit. So I'm like, permit? Well, what is that? So they say, yeah, you got to go to the DMV. The DMV leave. They going to take their permit Wednesday. So I'm like, I'm asking questions or whatever. Like, what is the permit? They were like, oh, you got to go take it at the DMV. This and that. So I'm like, damn, I got 2 days to study for it. So they're like, where is that? So one dude gave me the app, DMV Genie. Another dude gave me another app, CDL Prep. So I went. I'm scrambling through these questions. I'm talking about day in that whole day. So I had Monday and all day Tuesday to study for it. Wednesday we taking the test. So I crammed all them questions. But let me be honest, most of that stuff is common sense. It's not really that hard. So I crammed all that stuff in, crammed all those questions in, started going. That Tuesday night I took the little practice test or whatever, and I passed it, like barely passed it, because there's certain questions in there. They ask you questions, that it's the same question. It just changed 1 or 2 words in a sentence. So that was messing me up. So Wednesday morning come, I'm like, oh man, I'm getting nervous. I'm scratching my head. I'm sitting in the DMV like, man, okay, they say if I fail this one, I can get to take it again. I always think like that, of a backup plan for my plan. So anyway, I'm like, man, let me just go ahead and do this. Then I started thinking, I was like, man, you know what? I got a goal to meet. I'm not finna take this over again. I'm finna pass this right then and now. Lo and behold, I passed all 3 tests above 98. One I got a 99 on. So passed all 3 of them, went back to school. When I got back to school, they was like, they doubted me. Like, everybody in there doubted me, like, oh boy, he ain't study. Boy, he finna pass, but he might be in the next class or something. So I'm like, man, I'm like, I passed everything. They was like, they were surprised, they were doubting me or whatever the case may be. So long story short, we start doing the obstacle courses and stuff like that. I'm from Miami, so we got boats and jet skis. I used to drive on in my truck. I had a Tahoe, so I'm used to the concept of the turning. But with the trailer, it's just you hold it a little longer, whatever the case may be. So my first day out there on the course, I'm kind of looking like I, know a little something. By the 3rd day of the course, I'm whipping it, doing parallel, doing blind side parallel, sight side parallel, doing the alley dock. I'm not going fast, but I'm doing it. So with that being said, I didn't even know the class was already on pre-trip, learning pre-trip. So I'm like, oh my God, now I gotta learn all this now. So I kind of got discouraged just a little bit. The TT called me. She was like, man, what? No, she already was going on the road already. She out with her trainer, so she called me to make sure I'm good. So I'm like, man, I ain't know about this pre-trip junk, man. Hold on, man. So I just said, you know what, I gotta learn it. It is what it is. So I had a cheat card. Basically, my stepdad stayed in Atlanta, so I went ahead and went to his shop after school, for a whole week. Every day I'll go to his shop and I'll do pre-trip on a truck there, so I can see what they wanted me to point out. So I think the guy named Bob from CR England, he basically made a YouTube video on pre-trip on how they wanted it done. They was trying to make him take that video down because it was giving too much information. So I watched the video a couple times. Only thing I needed to watch the video was for what they wanted me to point out. I knew all the parts. I'm a mechanic. I was a mechanic, so I know, basic parts. I know all the parts. It's just certain names and the abbreviations, nut crack, Brenner broken, and nut dry rod afraid. I just had to learn that on what parts and what you needed to say on that part. So basically, I went to his shop or whatever. Mind you, he works on 18-wheelers in Lithonia, Georgia. I'll probably give y'all the information if y'all need to stop by a shop or anything like that to get y'all stuff done. And he's also mobile. So I'm over there, doing my pre-trip practices. So I done caught up to everybody, and then I passed everybody within the week. So now I'm helping them out, the people who was already ahead of me, on pre-trip, learning pre-trip and backing. So me, I'm pretty much a gentleman, though. I'm not gonna I don't know how to explain it. You'll see for yourself on how I act. But there was some ladies there. I used to let them take my turn on driving the truck because they were trying to learn. I really wanted most of them to learn, you know, to get it down pat, because they was getting, you know, frustrated or whatever the case may be. So I used to not drive the truck that day and let them take my turn every day until they got it. I met some cool people in school. I still keep up with most of them. You know, we check on each other on the road or whatever the case may be. But that's how I got into trucking and who got me into trucking. But I want to say trucking changed my life. I'm glad that I got into trucking. It helped me out so much, like from what I was going through back home, you know, like far as what I went through, not going through, but what I went through back home. Coming up, you know, in Miami, everybody see palm trees and beaches in Miami until you cross the bridge, and there's a whole another side of that, you know. And I had a very traumatic incident happen to me, which I'll make another video on so y'all can see what happened to me. And you know, but other than that, man, if you're thinking about getting into trucking, just do it. Like, it's fun. Mind you, I'd never ever seen snow until I started driving trucks. I'd never seen a cactus out the ground till I started driving trucks. There's a lot of stuff I seen on the road I only seen on TV. So with that being said, it's so much out here. Like,
bad hell, they'll go in
the
the
way
reserve parking. They just park out here in the damn right in the middle of the parking lot.
Sorry about that. But anyway,
I reckon that's what I should have done. I paid the $15 to park right in the parking lot.
Anyway,
That made me feel better. Thank you.
He must be watching me or something. He keep talking every time I talk. But anyway, I'm gonna cut that part out. Anyway,
That's the whole story, man. I should
anyway, trucking changed my life, man. That's all. It changed me a lot, like far as my way of thinking, my way of living. You get to see other people's living conditions, and you know, how the way they think. It's a lot out here. There's a lot to see out here. So don't be confined to your where you live at. Like, get out here. Like, even if it's not trucking, just travel. It's so much to see out here. Like, you'll be amazed. Trust me. It's sometimes I sit in this truck and be like, dang, I'm really out here driving trucks. I'm really a truck driver. I could be driving in the middle of driving and say that, or I could be sleeping in the back and hear something out here and get up and be like, I forgot I'm in a truck stop. You know, it's crazy because I sit here and think like, dang, I don't hear no gunshots, I don't hear no police sirens. And then in the trucking life, you got to own your own trucking community. Like, it's different. We don't really interact with regular population like that, because everywhere you basically go gonna be something dealing with trucks. But like I say, man, this video getting kind of long, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop it. But if this was like, you know, fun for you to watch, or if you're gonna send this to somebody, you know, to help them get into trucking, make sure you hit the like, comment, and subscribe button. Share it for me if you want, and there's more to come. Thank you.